All right, let's dive into it. So if you aren't aware, I'm Tommy from Start Racing, and this past weekend at Sonoma Raceway, I had an incident in which we slid sideways into a wall and ended up rolling the show. So in this, we're gonna talk about what happened and what's next. So what actually happened? So let's give a little background to what happened. That day, there was a lot of traffic with the Group 4 advanced group with NASA. So with that being said, not so much just free lap time where you're trying to set a fast lap. So knowing that, I had already told myself, like, look, it's not going to be a fast day, but I'm going to work on being precise and working on my areas for improvement that I noticed after my fastest time that I set at our last track day with fast in and fast out. And turn 3A was one of my areas for improvement. So turn 3A is also a tricky turn because it's a blind crest and it's off camber. So that whole session, I was just trying to work on getting back on throttle sooner as soon as I hit that apex, even though you still have a few feet before you can even see where you're going with the blind crest. And in that moment before the incident, that was all I was focusing on, was back on throttle sooner before I can even see where I'm going. I just know the roads to the right. So if I have a straight entry by turning later into 3/8 to get a straight apex, a straighter shot out of after the apex, I can just carry more speed down into turn 4 before the brake zone. So that was my thought. And as I hit the turn, I was back on throttle quickly. And I think I was just pointed a little too far left, or getting back on throttle quicker had me track out further to the left than I was used to. And so as it happened, I see the curb come up, like I can finally see where I'm going over the blind crest. And I noticed my left two wheels are probably gonna touch the dirt. So sure enough, they touched the dirt just outside of the curb, and I felt it. And I felt this sensation before at Laguna several times, but this is my first time feeling the earth at Sonoma. So as I'm feeling the earth, I'm thinking to stay in it. As soon as I did that, the car snapped. I tried to counter steer, from what I remember, without having seen the footage as of recently. These are my thoughts. I tried to counter steer, but at that point I just started to slide. And as I started to slide, I could see the wall coming closer, and I had the split second thing of like, oh shit, it snapped. Oh God, I'm gonna crash. I just accepted the fact that I was gonna crash as the wall is coming closer. But I had seen many crashes at Sonoma where cars, they butt up into the wall, either nose in, rear end in, or sideways in. Like every Sonoma track day, we see a car kissed up against the wall. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm just gonna kiss the wall and that'll be that. Never in my mind did I ever think that I was gonna roll the car. But sure enough, as I'm sliding, I feel the initial impact and then start to roll. And I see my windshield cracking in front of my eyes, and it's all happening in slow motion, and I'm like, I cannot believe that this is happening. So I think it rolled twice, 1.5 times before I landed up on my side, and I'm hanging in my harness inside of the car, and I'm kind of like just like in shock as far as like, is it done? I can't believe I'm even hanging here. What the fuck? And so at that point, I unclipped my harness. I'm standing sideways on the earth, and I have to push the door open overhead in order to jump out. At that time, the safety team had gotten there, and they're asking me if I'm okay. I'm like, I'm all right. And I was able to jump out and get out, and then just see the aftermath. And yeah, just total disbelief, total wave of emotions of, even in that moment, I was like going back and forth between pissed off and grateful, and like I'm standing here but I'm pissed, and it's my Shelby but I'm alive, and I'm not hurt but I'm pissed. And so it's just, yeah, I don't know, that might be more than what you're asking for with this question, but it all happened like that. NASA's known for keeping the track hot even in incidents, but this incident, where it was at, it's like it's totally blind. You can't see until you're right up on it. So they red flagged the whole track, which is pretty rare for them. I don't know if we've seen a red flag with NASA. It's usually with other other companies, but we had met all the NASA safety guys beforehand. We have a good relationship with them, and they're checking on me, so it's a shitty way to say what's up to the guys, but thankfully they were there, and very quickly all the volunteers also, they were helpful. And yeah, called my fiance on one of the safety workers' phone, and she declined it a few times, probably thought it was spam, but then she finally picked up, and I was like, I'm all right, babe, but the car is done, but I'm okay. So that was a relief to be able to get a hold of her and let her know the shitty news. And PAX was around the corner, I'm sure, waiting for me to come around, turn 4A, and go into the carousel.
I don't know what's going on. It's not looking good. They black flagged the session, and I'm pretty sure Tommy was the only car that I didn't see roll away. They have an ambulance there right now. I have no idea what the damage is looking like. I just hope he's okay.
Yeah, so a couple of you guys asked about track insurance. Is it worth it? Did you have it? What are they gonna cover? So first off, no, I did not have track insurance. Got lost in the mix of all the stuff I had going on at work, all the stuff I had going on at home. It was a crazy week with all types of stuff I won't even get into, but long story short, I usually get track insurance, but of course I didn't get it on this day. There's like 5 options on the track manual that we usually get, or that I usually look at. And again, it was lost in my track day checklist, which is something that I highly suggest if you don't have one. And that could be something that we could produce for people to kind of help out and mitigate that forgetting stuff, the checklist. Now, from my understanding, and obviously I've never had to use track insurance claim, but you can choose to insure up to a certain value, whether it's partial value of your car or the whole value of your car. Looking back, it's a very worthy investment to spend an extra $200 to $300 for a track day weekend in order to insure what I'm sure is a lot of your babies. You grow with these cars, you evolve with these cars, you spend so much time in your car. We all love our cars. We're car guys, right? If you wouldn't be here watching this if you weren't a car guy. So do it, protect your car, and it'll give you that comfort of knowing that in the case of something happening, which clearly stuff does happen, you're protected. So were there any charges or costs associated with an incident or towing at the track? There were not. And I don't know if this is something that is specific to NASA, which is rolled into the cost, but in order to tow my vehicle so that we could put it on the trailer, the damage to the racetrack, maybe it was just because it was the tire barrier with a little sign in front of it, or like a tarp in front of it, but there was no cost associated with anything that went on. Even riding in the being checked out by the medics, there was no cost. Yeah, there was no cost associated with cleanup because the incident did happen on the grass. Well, the incident ended on the grass. So yeah, there was no cost associated with spills of fluids, no cost associated with towing, no cost associated with being checked out. I think it's all rolled into the fee with NASA. Is it totaled? So I haven't had the privilege of informing my insurance company yet, but yeah, it's totaled. Is there a body panel that's untouched? Yeah, I haven't looked at the car since the incident happened, so I can't remember off the top of my head. Pretty much the whole front right side is cooked. Left front quarter panel is good. And both of the left rear quarter panel is good. The trunk is good. I think the left door is cooked or has damage. Sorry for my loss from fellow GT350 owners. Thanks, brothers. I appreciate you. It's been a pretty tight-knit community. A lot of guys with 350s have reached out. And so I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. You know what it's like to love a Shelby and have her love you back with her high-revving freedom noises. What's next? GTD? I think I need to buy a few more Shelbys or Mustangs for that allocation. Is it Porsche time? So what's next? That's the ultimate question. Well, what's next for me in the short term is different than what's next for Start Racing. So at Start Racing, we got 4 other drivers. So we got plenty of track day, race day action coming for you guys. So stay tuned for that. Follow Start Racing if you haven't. What's next for me immediately? We got a bunch of ideas going on, from trying to find a 350 roller and transfer everything that's good into there. I'll basically have an R again. One of my favorite ideas is dropping the Voodoo into an old school Shelby 350 fastback shell. That would be badass. Some people are like, put it in a Miata, bro, or put it in an S2000, which would be pretty nutty. But yeah, we're gonna part it out first and foremost, see what's good, see what's bad, and then we're gonna rebuild the E46. We put it on pause, but my hand is kind of being forced to have something that's trackable and to share with you guys as far as our journey in the racing motorsport world. So yes, building the Shelby and restarting that project. And I'm looking forward to it, honestly, because yeah, my hand is forced and we already have this beautiful platform. It's gonna need a lot of work, but I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to show you guys and to see from where it starts to where it's more polished product. Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. And we're gonna do the wrenching. We're gonna reach out to some possible partners and see if we can get some things cooking there. The reality is we're not made of money either. Maybe we could do something where we put out some sort of merch where the profits is dedicated towards getting a 350 shell. I would love to do that. If you guys have any suggestions, we love hearing your guys' feedback. So comment, but send us a message what you think we should get into, and it will be considered. With that being said, thanks again for everybody that reached out, to everybody that checked on me, that sent uplifting, encouraging words. And stay tuned because we're going to roll out more from this incident. It was unfortunate, but there is a silver lining in it. And I'm still able to be here to talk to you guys today and to keep on racing. So click that follow button, send, share, like, subscribe, whatever. Do all that stuff and start racing.